Good afternoon, Dr. Page.
How are you?
Thank you for meeting with me.
Oh,
My name is Ashley Spiegel.
Nice to meet you. Oh man, how's your day?
It's fantastic. Are you enjoying the weather?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's perfect golf weather, so...
You've been playing a lot lately?
Yeah, and actually I think within the next 30 minutes, we can make this quick.
Do you have a game to catch?
Just a little fun, not necessarily a game.
Well, we can definitely do that. It'll only take up about 15 minutes of your time, maybe.
Perfect, perfect.
Okay. Do you care if I take notes throughout?
No, not at all. Please do.
I just have a few questions for you.
Okay.
And are you familiar with what we do at ADP?
Not too much. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I got online to look y'all up right before I came here.
Okay.
Talked to my wife about it a little bit, but honestly, no.
Okay. So for the most part, at ADP, we provide payroll software.
Okay.
And we do direct deposit. We do your taxes for you. We basically make your payroll and everything that has to do with it extremely easy for you and your company. So that's what we do. And then just have a few questions about your locations and your company real quick.
Okay.
Do you have multiple locations?
Yes. Right now we have two, one in Newman and one in Peachtree.
Okay. And about how many employees do you have between the two?
I would say at the Newman location probably be about 35, Peachtree probably about 15, I'd say.
Okay. All right. So it's quite a few. Have you been thinking about doing any sort of expansion over the next couple of years or so?
Definitely. Business is going well. We're looking to aggressively expand hopefully within the next few years.
Okay, that's awesome. Good to hear that. So we've got about 45 employees expanding. And then who currently does your payroll for these employees?
That'd be my wife, Ellen. She's not necessarily a bookkeeper. She handles the payroll. She started it as a part-time gig just to be in the office when we first started out. But now it's kind of becoming overwhelming for her, I think.
And do you guys use any sort of software?
Yeah, right now we use Microsoft Dynamics GP.
Okay. Got it. Microsoft Dynamics. Do you have any issues with this Microsoft Dynamics ever, or it's a pretty user-friendly?
I think the one thing Ellen usually runs into is it's not very automated. There's a lot of Excel work, there's a lot of manual entry, there's a lot of pulling reports, exporting them to Excel. You know, a lot of time wasted, and it's, like you said, it's not user-friendly. We're looking for something, you know, more simple.
So a lot of re-entering.
Yeah.
And does this cost you anything?
Yes, right now it's $1,500 a year to re-up.
Every year?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And with that being said, how much time do you think is spent on the payroll every pay period?
If I had to estimate, just the payroll itself, which I believe consists of, from what Ellen tells me, is getting the timesheets, calculating, and then all the manual entry, I'd say right around an hour and a half every 2 weeks, which is every pay period.
Okay. And then with, you cut the checks yourself, I assume?
Yes, we do.
Okay. All right. And does that take any additional time doing?
Yeah, that's her least favorite part, actually. I mean, it probably takes her, I'd say, 2 hours a pay period, and that's with getting the checks signed, getting them stuffed, sealed, and mailed out.
Do you ever have any issues with checks being cut on time or being cut for the right amount?
We try and keep it as clean as possible, but since it is a user system, there are user errors. I mean, Ellen makes mistakes. We all make mistakes.
Of course.
I'd say on average, maybe 2 to 4 checks every pay period. We have to avoid. We have to reissue, recalculate. So definitely something we'd like to clean up.
Yes, absolutely. I think we can help you with that. Have you? And so, I mean, with that being said, it looks like you've had some good employee stability. Do they ever get unhappy with you when you have to recut those checks?
I mean, I know they get frustrated. I get frustrated as well, and no one likes to get paid and then have to go back and redo it again. Some of these people, they live hand to mouth. So definitely something we'd like to clean up and just get taken care of going forward.
We would like to fix that for you if we could. And then does your software handle paid time off, or is that something else that you guys are having to do manually?
From what Ellen's kind of communicated to me, I think it does, but it's really tough and it's really old. So what she's been doing is she's pretty good with Excel. She's essentially just been keeping time with PTO via Excel on her own.
Okay. And how often do you guys keep track of this, and do you relate it to your employees often, or?
Since it is so time consuming, it's about every other month we get it out to the employees. So
every other month. Okay.
yeah, it's not essentially, I know most places, most corporations, whatever, you get it, you see your PTO on every check. This is something we essentially print the report, stuff it in their envelopes with the checks, and they get to see it.
So there's no sort of system they can log in and see it on a regular basis. It's every other month. Okay. Yeah. So, and I mean, keeping track of that, I mean, obviously, since it is so sparse throughout the year, I mean, do you have problems keeping up with it since you do enter it manually?
Yeah, not gonna lie. I mean, I think the problem we run into most is the employees don't know how much paid time off they have. We keep up with it to a certain extent. We have employees trying to request paid time off. We don't know if they have it. We cut the check. Next thing you know, they actually hadn't had it accrued. So we can't go back and take that money from them. So.
Well, we would definitely like to help you with this. We have a system where employees can log in, they can see and keep track of all of their paid time off, what they've accrued, everything of that sort. So this is definitely something that your employees could benefit from.
Yeah. Definitely help on the calls. I mean that.
Yeah, of course. And then, do you guys update your employee information often?
Yes, we do. Ellen's actually in charge of that, and that's also one of her problems as well. That's the meat and potatoes of her work. It's about 15 hours a week, constantly going into the system, constantly updating employee information. So I know she really dislikes that.
And along with like reports, like tax reports and W-2s and just basic reports that have to do with paid time off and payroll, can you get all of these reports from Microsoft Dynamics, or do you have to create some of these reports yourself?
Some we can, and some we have to export and essentially manipulate the data to where, I mean, Ellen has her own templates that she uses now. She's gotten really good with it. However, it's not automated. It's something that we have to go in and we have to calculate.
And then your tax deposits, how do you guys handle those, and how much time do you spend on those every pay period?
It's manually, we do it ourselves, and I would say tax deposits just about 15 minutes every 2 weeks.
Okay, that's not terrible. And then the W-2s is
same 15 minutes.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay. And then quarterly filings. I mean, I feel like if you do these manually, that can be pretty time consuming as well. How much do you spend on those?
If I had to estimate, probably 2 hours a quarter.
2 hours?
Yeah.
And along with that being said, have you guys ever had any issues on your taxes or your filings?
One time, actually about 4 years ago, we slipped up a little bit. We got popped, but we've kept it clean ever since. We just never wanted to happen.
Is it just a late report, or?
Yeah, late report.
Okay, late report. All right. I mean, how interested would you guys be in with a system that helps you with your taxes?
I mean, anything to save us time and to get Ellen out of the office more. I mean, we'd be very interested in it. We're just looking to take it from. I feel like we're small. We're expanding as a company, and we're at that point to where, we need something new, something more automated, something more user-friendly to save us time, especially if we're going to have more locations, and if it's, user-friendly for additional locations.
Yeah, it looks like not only if you had help with all of us, it would benefit you and your employees, and of course your family, your kids, your wife, stuff like that. Okay. And do you currently bank with anybody?
Capital One's are the bank we use.
Any fees associated with banking there?
For the corporation, $250 a month.
A month? Okay.
Yeah.
Any issues with reconciliation with the bank statements, or does that ever cost some additional?
Ellen's gotten pretty good at it. I'd say it probably takes her an hour a month.
Terrible. And so just want to go ahead and summarize a few things that I got from you today. We've got the 2 locations looking to expand in the next couple of years or so, sitting right around 40 to 45 employees. And you're currently using the Microsoft Dynamics.
Correct.
Looks like that's costing you about $1,500 a year. We definitely like to save you some money there. You're doing the payroll, you're cutting the checks, you're manually doing your PTO. So you're accruing. Your wife is accruing a lot of time over the month and each pay period with doing all of this herself. So we definitely like to help you there. And then I think we can get you away from the $250 a month from banking with Capital One as well.
Okay.
So any other questions that you have for me, or any other issues aside from your payroll that you have that you think we could help you with?
No, not really. I mean, kind of covered everything in the discussion.
All right. Well, thank you for meeting with me today,
Thank you.
and good luck on your golf game.
Appreciate you.